Hello and welcome to our live stream of Curse of Strahd as presented by For the Love of Crits. I'm level 1 Dungeon Master Hunter AU. I thank you for joining us as we continue with our hubbub of holy men as they journey deeper into the mist of Barovia. For this session, I do want to say that for maps, we are using Tailspire, a new early access program available on Steam. For music, I am using Sirenscape, an online program allowing us to sync our audio so we can all enjoy the same soundscapes. In this world, for the Tailspire maps, I'm using a mix of different sources that are available online, mostly through Tales Tavern, but Demon Gund is the creator that has mostly been creating the maps I will be using. For this session, we want to make sure to start off that you kind of know everyone that's playing, the players, as well as the characters. So I believe the first one going will be Graves.
Yeah, that's me up here in the corner. As you can see from my little name right here, I am playing Graves, our cleric of Pharasma, the Lady of the Graves. As for me, myself, my name is Garion. I've been playing for a long time, playing with these guys for a good while. I also been DMing for years upon years, and I'm just happy you guys are here. Yeah, welcome. On to the next.
Well, hello, I am Alex, go on the internet, known as Barotheus. I play Herbert Lightforge, your regular old human guy who is just enraptured by building things, noble society in general, and he is a cleric of Gond, the god of inventiveness. So I guess that takes us to
Nerith.
Oh, okay. I'm next in line. I'm playing as Nerith, who is a Kalashtar cleric of the god Selyun, the Wanderer. And he is a little awkward, a little shy. He only speaks within his mind because he has a vow of silence, which has been discussed in a previous episode. I myself, playing the character, am Cold. Go on the internet by Elok or Elok Leakim. And I also do some DMing on the sly. So you might see something of mine on here later as well as everyone else's.
All right, and that brings me up to bat. My name is Josh. I am playing Onyx, the Warforged cleric that serves the deity of Akkadi. I've been playing D&D now for 5 years, and I do a couple things tabletop. And the things I DM, because I'm hosting the stream, you probably won't see. But I do play on opposite Saturday nights with Alex there. So, yeah, on the internet, I go by Midget Man most of the time. So, glad you guys could join us.
Thanks, guys. So, want to preface, like, all 4 of these guys, they've all been DMing longer than I have, which is one of the reasons I always go by level 1 DM. But I love the energy they bring to it. We're all able to play together, and we've been playing together for about 2.5, 3 years now, collectively. Now, before we jump into where we last left our clerics at the mercy of an animated armor, we did want to take a moment to point out that this particular stream should be considered for mature audiences. I say that not solely because of language that will be used, but also the content. Curse of Strahd is created by Wizards of the Coast, and it's considered a gothic horror genre of D&D. And it will have many areas that, while the clerics, being good aligned players, will not partake in, there are many things that imagery-wise will be inserted there. And for certain people, they might not like it and may find it to be triggering. So we wanted to make sure that we are warning people as we go through. In the future, our warnings won't be as long, but we will, the beginning of each of our streams, make sure to bring it up. We thank you again all for joining, and we do ask that in the chat and in the comments that you keep it civil and avoid spoilers for the Wizards of the Coast adventure of Curse of Strahd. Now we join our cluster of clerics again, and please, for the love of crits, like and subscribe.
Come by the fire, and I'll continue our tale of our 4 clergy. When last we spoke, they had entered through the gates of Barovia, the mists, following them, and beckoning them deeper. The pilgrims soon found a dead body along the side of the road, with the unmistakable signs of wolf attacks. The poor soul held a letter signed by Kalian Inderovich, the burgomaster of the village of Barovia. The letter begged for all to avoid and banish the land of Barovia, and in the process hopefully destroy the vampire that has had a merciless grip upon his people for the last 600 years, and also, more recently, bitten his adopted daughter, the fair Irina Kaliana. The pilgrims, shaken by the unpleasant news, decided to continue their journey to the village of Barovia. This journey was not made alone, however. Large wolves occasionally escorted them and kept them along the road, while the unnatural mists forced them forward. After many hours of stressful travel, the clergy once again heard the chorus of wolves. They soon discovered they were being watched by a wolf larger than the rest. While the rest of the party became distracted, Herbert could only focus on this mysterious specter. He alone saw the wolf change to mist before his unbelieving eyes. While the others insisted this was a trick of the night, Herbert was unable to continue defending himself, as a child's weeping now broke through silent night. The party rushed forward, seeing a large manor that had been previously obscured by the fog. The party soon met Rose and Thorn, 2 children who lived in the manor. The children were huddled together in a nearby stable, pleading for help. They told of a monster that was in the basement of the home. They asked the party to save their baby brother, Walter. Hearing of the endangered infant, the clerics rushed into action, quickly entering the home. The holy men began a search of the home, seeing many things that raised concerns: phantom voices, moving wolf statuettes, and numerous artworks of a dark nature. The only sign of life found in the manor was a starving dog named Lancelot on the 2nd floor. Feeding the poor beast, the party continued further into the manor. Arriving on the 3rd floor balcony, Onyx moved to the next room, only to be suddenly attacked by a suit of armor standing guard.
We now continue right where we left off, in the midst of the animated armor swing down, attacking Onyx in surprise. Roll initiative.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Poof. Let's get this going.
All right. So I don't know how it works in here, there, Reno, because I have advantage.
You can choose if you do advantage or not in D&D Beyond, can't you?
Not giving me the option.
I would just let you roll
Okay, my
twice and
first
take
one
the
was
higher of the two.
13. My second's 19.
Nice.
Gotta take that 19. I got no complaints about that.
I'm assuming it's gonna get a attack of opportunity.
Yes, and it did roll a 19 as well, so...
Ooh, because the surprise attack.
So what were your guys' rolls? Who was highest? Graves, you were at 19?
19, yes.
What's your dex?
It is a plus.
Okay. As long as you have a plus, you are more dexterous than this knight. Who was next after? Who was below 19 but close?
I rolled a 17.
Okay, Onyx. So Nerith and Herbert, what were you guys?
13.
I had a 7.
Okay. So, Graves, before you go, I am going to do this animated armor's attack of opportunity because he was lying in wait. He is going to attack. Oh, there we go. So he attacks. Does.
Why is everything that's supposed to be stationary trying to kill us?
Does a 12 hit your armor class?
No.
Okay. He's going to swing, and then Graves, it is your turn.
Alrighty. So Graves is probably at a decent spot positioning wise, so I think I'll stay there. I only got 1 spell slot left, so I'm going to save that. I will hold up my lantern and kind of reach board, and the blue and yellow flames kind of just like pull off the candle into my hand. I'm just like, Onyx! That's not my voice. Onyx, watch out! I've lost my voice. We'll figure it out when we get to the not combat. But anyway, Sacred Flame, it needs to give me a dex save, DC 13.
Dexterity save?
Yes, sir.
DC 13. Ooh, man. I don't think it has a good dex save.
You said it didn't have a good dex, so I was like, let's target the dex save.
Ooh, it fails.
That's not gonna do it. Alrighty, let's roll some radiant damage.
So 6 damage.
And yeah, as the flames just blast against its armor, because that's what it is, I guess. I will end my turn.
This knight is standing there. The sacred flame, you see it kind of like spread across the metal, but it doesn't appear affected the same as like if you had attacked an animal. And it is going to look over towards you guys. It's going to
There we go.
move here.
Did that mean I
And
get an opportunity attack?
You do get an opportunity attack.
Yeah. Hit it.
Yeah.
Hit it.
After bringing my shield up and deflecting its attack, I quickly grab my warhammer from behind me and try to smack it and break some of the stone.
Smack
that
it.
is. Yeah.
Smackaroo.
15 to hit.
Pretty good.
Okay. So it is a 15 to hit. Does not hit it.
Oh no.
So-
No.
You swing and it is walking away, and your warhammer, you go to hit it, but it's moving fast enough that you kind of you miscalculate it and you aim a bit short, and you feel the resounding thud as the hammer hits the ground. Now
Oh no.
he's going to be walking forward, and he's going to actually just go to push you, and he's attempting to push you over the railing off the stairs.
Who is he pushing?
He is pushing Graves, the one that
That was my
attacked him.
assumption.
So
That was my
he
guess.
is going to
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh!
Ah!
Okay,
Oh,
I
no.
need you to roll me a strength saving throw, but it is going to be a disadvantage because he did crit.
Oh my.
Strength is my worst stat. Okay, here's 1 going to Tailspire, and here's
Oh
2.
no.
Oh no. A 2.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm in danger.
Okay, so
I'm at full health at least.
Graves, he is going to manage to push you down, and unfortunately, the way that this staircase is set up, you fall all the way down to the first floor.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Ooh, that's not gonna be good.
Not pulling any punches.
So
Okay.
as soon as I'm able to get you down there,
Oh.
Yeah,
no.
I'll let you move me because
That could.
am
Oh.
I taking any damage with that or
roll me an acrobatics check.
okay that's not
Ooh,
as
can he,
bad.
like,
Oh.
Can't
patch
just knock-
the side,
Knock my
maybe?
speaker over. Acrobatics.
But
Acrobatics. Come on, roll
Okay.
10.
Oh.
That's not the worst. At
That
least.
is not enough. You are surprised by how much, and you are going to
oh boy.
takes 2d6 bludgeoning damage from the 2
Oh.
stories. So
Oh,
you take
no.
8 bludgeoning damage, and you are prone.
I think I'm still up.
you
I'm
are
still
prone.
Oh.
I'm at one hit point.
Oh
Oh
dear.
no.
1 hit point.
This is not
This-
a good place to stand.
All
This
right, my
are-
heals. I go to myself.
This animated armor, after it shoves him, is going to bring both its arms up, and it's going to attempt to slam Herbert because it still has one more
Oh
attack.
no.
Jeez.
Oh, snap.
A
Does a
19.
23 hit
Yeah,
the armor?
okay. Yeah, that hits.
Oh.
You know, just
A
barely.
20 and a 19. Tailspire hates us. It really does. It gives us all
It
these
was a
terrible
4,
rolls,
and it's
then
like, nope, fall down to a 6.
So
end up
it,
8
Those-
damage.
Herbert, you're kind of surprised by all of a sudden your ally falling. You probably hear him thump across the ground, and when you look up, this animated armor is not pausing at all as it brings both arms down onto you, dealing 8 bludgeoning damage.
I also have 1 hit point left now.
Yeah.
And that is the end of its turn. Onyx, it is your turn.
Onyx, get it! Get it!
I'm gonna try something.
Are we doing flanking in this?
Yeah, what's
No.
your flanking?
So,
I am
Okay.
not, because it's merciful to you guys.
That's fine. I'm just curious.
It
I
goes
know
both ways.
some of the later stuff that's happening, and you guys would TPK if we had flanking.
Okay.
So
I won't complain about no flanking then. Not at all.
All right.
when you're facing, when you guys only have a party of 4, it's very easy to be outflanked.
So I'm going to try something. I am far enough away
Okay.
from Nerith. We're gonna try it. So I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave.
oh,
Oh yeah, do it.
And as you said, I'm far enough away. I was like,
Is that a cone or a?
It is a cube.
They do not have a cube measurement on here. I feel like that should be one they have.
15-foot cube.
It's not as common.
A wave of thunderous force
Yeah.
sweeps out.
You'd be able to hit that without hitting them fairly easily.
So you see me put my mace away and bring my hand out and start smacking the back of my shield, chanting. And eventually the reverberations get loud enough where this wave of thunderous energy pops from my shield and hits this thing in the back, and it needs to make a Constitution save.
Constitution saving throw.
Yes. And
Thunder
pray
wave from
fails.
the tempted cleric.
God
Yeah.
damn it.
a Cotty, damn it.
And it just washes over this thing, and you see Onyx deflate a little. Oh, we're not going to be as good as we were entering this. Ah!
No.
You see, like, as you hit your shield, like the reverberation, and Herbert, you hear like this loud thunderous sound, and the animated armor barely moves.
Takes
Well,
half damage, right?
So the luck points have to be used before we know the roll, right?
No, you are able to use the luck points.
I'm gonna use
Right.
2 of my
Luck
luck points
points.
to drop that down, or 3 luck points to drop that down to a 12, so it fails.
Yeah.
Oh man, how many luck points are you
I
using?
forgot we had
I
luck
had
points.
5. I'm using 3 to drop that 15 down to a
Now
12.
remember, when you're using it on another person's die, it's a 2-to-1 ratio.
Oh,
If you're
Oh.
using it on your own, because it was
But-
a save. So if you're wanting to
can't
drop
we-
it to 13, you'd have to use 4.
We can
Or,
we can stack up luck points
if he's
though, right?
6.
I would need 1
Can I-
luck point from
You
somebody.
can, yeah.
I will
So
donate.
can
a
I
luck
I can
point.
give you one. I think I have the next most, so I can give you one. Have one of my
Yeah.
luck points.
Okay, so I'm gonna use all of mine, 1 of Graves, and as I hit the shield, I am going to yell out, "Roll out of the way, Graves!" as I hit the shield and cause this wave.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
Down on the first floor, Grace just on his back, like, pray, just like, Rasmus, let whatever he's doing work.
Because, I mean, it was still gonna take some damage because it was at least half, I think.
Okay.
Let me
How
see.
much damage does it take?
Yeah.
So now, on a failed save, it's going to take 2d8 and is pushed 10 feet away. Directly
Oh.
away from me.
Oh man, Graves. Okay, you roll the damage first.
It's gonna land on me and kill me.
That's why I yelled for him to roll out of the way. 14 damage.
Oh, you meant me. Okay.
He did say Graves.
My audio cut out for a split second. All I
Oh.
hear was roll.
No, I yelled Graves, roll out of the way.
Okay.
how much
Graves
damage
will
was
probably
that?
try and roll
14?
away.
14 thunder damage.
Oof. Okay.
Wow, that was a good roll.
And then
So-
it's pushed 10 feet away from me.
Oh yeah, and that's plenty of distance. Yeah, it's
Does
gonna.
it specify if the movement provokes or not?
Typically, if it's not of their own accord, it does not. So Nerith and Herbert, you are sitting there and you hear a sudden noise coming from behind this animated armor. Initially, it looks like just dust is shaking away from it, but all of a sudden, like, there's a shift, and as he steps forward, he almost loses his footing, and the sudden thunderous sound pushes harder against his back, and he is going to go flying forward against this. You see, as he's falling, that the back of his armor is dented, and I need Graves to roll me an dexterity saving throw.
Does he get advantage because of my yell?
No, because he's prone.
Okay.
It's canceling out the disadvantage.
Okay.
So he is gaining help.
Okay. I killed him.
I'm the backline cleric, the one that doesn't get extra armor. And
Okay,
weapon
so-
proficiencies.
Okay, first off, the armor is going to be taking 2d6 bludgeoning damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Could be worse. Could be worse.
Graves, you are taking 1d6 bludgeoning damage.
I'm at 1 hit point, so I'm unconscious regardless.
Yeah.
But you're not dead.
You're not.
You
I'm
just
not
like
dead
dead.
yet. I'm also the best healer because if someone's at 0, I heal max, but I can't heal myself if I'm unconscious.
Unfortunate.
True.
it falls, and it falls prone. That being said, Onyx is at the end of your turn.
I moved 10 feet to get there. I'm going to move my others to rush forward and probably look over the edge. Graves! You okay? Buddy? Pal? Uh-oh.
No amount of reactions allows him to respond at this point.
I know.
No,
We gotta get down there, guys.
this is bad
I
news.
was
bears.
just gonna like continuously like sacred flame from the bottom and safety, but not anymore.
Nope.
Okay, so Onyx is at the end of your turn?
That's the end of my turn. Oh, hey, I have a button. There we go.
Yeah.
Mighty turn.
There we go.
Hey.
Nerith, it is your turn.
Okay.
Also, side note, in between, you do hear Lancelot here barking and kind of looking down, but like being more fearful, not really moving.
Just a quick assessment. There's some pots to the side of me. Is it obvious what's in them?
You can tell that it looks like it's with the cooking stuff. It looks like it was almost like some type of brewing station, whether for alcohol or potions. You do know that it has liquids and like flour and ingredients, like dry ingredients. They are full of different weighted materials, the heaviest of which would be about 4 to 5 pounds. The lightest of which would be about 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds.
Okay, that's not particularly useful. All right, Nerith is gonna look over to Herbert, and his eyes are gonna glow yellow a little bit as he waves his hand and casts Shield of Faith on Herbert, giving him a +2 bonus to AC,
Okay.
and that's a bonus action. And I'm just gonna roll a die here just to see what I'm gonna do. Okay, Nerith is going with a reasonable approach.
Okay.
Dash action.
You're gonna jump.
One was jumping. Okay, what's my speed? 60 at dash.
So I'd say you'd be able to get down to here reasonably. So you're not having to piecemeal it, because I'd allow you to get to here if you're dashing all the way down.
Yeah. You could just do it.
I can teleport you if you'd like.
Sorry, just one quick assessment here.
How far would 30 feet get you? Okay.
Probably right past Lancelot here.
Yeah.
I mean, you still can do range attacks from there.
I'm not used to playing reserved characters, so I'm trying to...
You were like, oh, I'm just gonna dive onto the...
A friend of his is potentially dead or nearly dead. Another one of them almost died. He's gonna jump down from this height.
Do it.
With
Okay.
his, dual-handing his warhammer and just try to plunge down on top of the armor.
Okay,
Make
I'm
the
going to
vibes
give
of that.
you cinematic advantage. I don't know if you remember that rule from the last one, but I'm going to allow you to do an acrobatics check with a DC of 12. And if you succeed, you'll be able to auto crit on thing. If you fail, you're going to take the full fall damage.
All right. So
This just reminded me of the game that I ran where you were good old Zahir. Or Zafir, whatever.
Yeah, Zafir.
Just like, right up, throw me.
That's a bummer.
Okay, so you attempt to jump down, but you haven't really jumped from this height before, so you also go prone and
Oh boy.
are going to take 2d6 of bludgeoning damage from the fall.
Oh no.
You take 9 bludgeoning damage.
Oh.
Well, I'm out. Does it take any damage though? I mean, I was aiming to land on top of it.
Roll me a percentage die.
Guys, we're about to have a pile of priests here.
30.
It does not take damage.
Oh no.
It's a
2 of
bummer.
us
All
are
right, well,
already down.
thank you guys for tuning in to Curse of Strahd. It's been a short series.
Next week goes to Saltmarsh.
Okay, is that the end of your turn, Nerith?
Well, I mean, I'm out.
Herbert, you have seen one of your friends be pushed over, followed by the animated armor that crushed him, followed by Nerith just jumping and falling, and presumably just falling. But he can't respond to you because he's too far away, so you don't know if he's okay or not.
So
Friggin', you're already almost down too.
I turn and I look at everything, and I'm like, oh boy, okay, well, I'd offer you a word of advice. Don't get hurt. And I'll cast Healing Word on Graves.
Okay.
Okay.
Going
So that
back.
is- All right. D4. Hey, big old save.
Yeah. That's what I want to see.
That's huge at our level.
Yep.
It is.
I'll use the rest of my movement to get, I believe
I'm back
that's
to
only
2/3 of my health.
here.
Gracious one's like, oh, Lady Phrasma, is that you? Oh no, it's Herbert.
Don't worry, I got you. Well, that's my movement. That's my bonus action. As an action, I will cast Pull the Dead on the animated armor.
Oh, okay.
So
Roll
it
me-
needs to
is
make
it a save?
He needs to make a save. DC 12 Wisdom.
Wisdom, okay. Oh, I was like, oh, cool. He's not a disadvantage, but he is a -4. So, oof,
Okay. So, yeah,
unnatural 1.
unnatural 1. That's so weird. I like it. So that's a D12 of necrotic damage to this
Yeah.
creature. So let's hope for some probability. 8. Pretty good. So I pull out my brass bell and I'll take my magic hammer, which is just like a ball peen hammer, and I'll just like ring the brass bell, and it just sends out these waves of necrotic energy at my target.
All right. So you hit this bell, necrotic waves start going. You hear the tolling of it. You can see the waves as it passes through. How do you want the waves to appear for other people? Do you want it to be like flavor-wise? I'm cool with whatever.
I would think it's just sort of a shimmery, whitish sort of energy that just sort of, when it sinks into the thing, it just starts to destabilize it almost like on a molecular level.
Okay.
Sort of like
So-
almost disintegrates.
You see this white energy just pour down, and it hits this animated armor, and you can tell like it was starting to get up, and you see almost from the inner part of it the white glow going, and all the pieces of armor start breaking, and it just blows up and scatters across the ground. The animated armor is finished.
Nice.
Oh.
Well, that Grace just be there, like, look over. Oh, Nerith,
Yeah, he's not
go
looking
down
so
too.
good.
My friend, I think you should try a little harder. And I will cast Cure Wounds on Nerith to use my next spell slot because of my domain's ability, Circle of Mortality. It is maximum healing,
Yep.
Ooh.
Great
Nice.
cleric.
so it
Gotta love
counts
it.
as
So 8, 9, 10, 11
And
points.
a D8 plus 3. I'll cast it. So that's a straight 11 points of healing right there. Back to Conerith.
Yeah,
Actually,
temporary
Rexy
hit
rolled a
points.
2 and rolled that.
Nice. So, Conerith, you're at full health.
And I have no more spells today, so I cannot heal you again.
Looking over the railing. Sorry, Graves. I did try to warn you.
I don't even know what happened. It's all right, my friend. We won.
Graves, you'd be the only one to hear this. Conera's very slowly getting back up. He's kind of like on his knees now, and you hear like, I didn't know what happened to you. I was just so concerned. He's clearly shook by the situation.
It's all right, my friend. Thank you for trying. I don't know what you did either, because I was unconscious. But I see you're down here, so you tried to help. I appreciate it, my friend. Glad to see you're all alive.
Inevitably, it was very unsuccessful. I'd imagine I don't really remember what happened after I landed.
Well, we're all better now. Let's just head back up and try again. Hopefully there's no more of these things.
Herbert is down there examining the armor.
Okay, yeah. Just roll me an intelligence check with proficiency.
So, would investigation work?
Yeah, that's fine. You are looking among the armor. It's so scattered around. There's you did enough damage to it that you can't really make heads or tails. It's basically scrap metal at this point. You do think that if you carried it with you, you might be able to do something with it, but it would be quite heavy. And you can tell that with how old the armor is, there's a lot better techniques you could do now with your knowledge than what this armor was.
Well, could be useful scrap. I'll take some significant parts that might be still intact, so I may be able to reuse them in places and sort of fill in the gaps, maybe.
Yeah, we'll say you collect about 8 pounds worth of scrap metal.
Nice.
You can put that in your inventory. We'll kind of determine a more suitable ruling, because I know one of your goals is you want to try and create armor, correct?
Yeah. Yes, I just need a gold value of whatever raw materials I have, basically.
Oh, okay. For now, we'll go with the metal, and then
Yeah.
we'll figure out gold value later.
Gotcha.
Okay,
So,
where
you
am I?
guys have defeated the animated armor. What would you like to do next? As had been stated before, you guys are on this large balcony. Because it was a full week since we last had the description, I'm going to read through it again. As you ascend the spiral staircase, you can easily see the ground floor 20 feet below. At the top of the stairs, you come to a dusty balcony. There's a suit of black plate armor standing against one wall draped in cobwebs. You see multiple doors spread around the landing. Oil lamps are mounted on the oak-paneled walls, which are covered in woodland scenes of trees, falling leaves, and tiny critters.
The armor is no longer there.
It is no longer. But as you guys know, yeah, I read through the description. That's what was you had originally seen, and then Onyx walked within range. So there is a door here, and then also
Okay.
door here and here.
Okay.
All right, well, there's still a
Honestly-
missing child, so
Onyx
So we
would be
also-
walking up to Graves and just kind of like patting him down and getting the dust off of him, feeling really
Graves
bad.
But it's all right, my
Yeah.
friend. These kind of things happen.
Oh.
You were trying your best. We won. It's all right.
You could have died.
But I didn't. And if I died, well, then I died. That's all there is to it.
Okay.
I am a priest of the goddess of death, you know.
I mean, I get that, but I'm trying
Conerith
not to.
is opening a door.
Oh no.
I appreciate it.
Thing
Also,
is happening.
quick question. Because we've seen the outside, do we know how many floors there is up, judging from the outside?
Yes, you knew there was 4.
Okay, so there's one past this, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
As you open this door, Conerith, let me pull up my description.
Which door is he opening, left or right?
The one directly in front, I believe.
yeah,
Okay.
the one he's facing.
Perfect.
You see the specter of a woman walking around this room.
Oh,
Ooh. Oh, that's cool. I love the animation.
Mm.
Oh,
So, I ask that you guys not move too much, but she is standing there. You can tell that she's in servant's clothing. The room that she is in is full of dust and cobwebs. It shrouds an elegantly appointed bedroom. The bedroom contains a large bed and 2 end tables, and an empty wardrobe. Mounted in the wall next to the wardrobe is a full-length mirror with an ornate wooden frame, carved to look like ivy and berries. A small table beside the bed has a number of objects resting there. Stained glass double doors appear to lead outside a wooden door. On that wooden door, you see the name Walter carved. This specter
Nerith,
does not notice you at all. They continue walking, and she walks past you without saying a word and goes,
like through me?
yes, and goes through this doorway without opening it.
I'm assuming because of just where I am, Graves didn't actually see that yet.
Well, you saw.
You would have seen her as she walked through here and through this door.
Graves kind of just definitely clench his lantern and be like, was that simply a spirit? Or was that an undead? I did not see enough to tell.
I'm not entirely sure it passed right through me, but it does seem as though Walter's room is here.
Well, that's good at least. From the little bit I saw and from my studies, I assumed that like there'd be a difference between just like a spirit like appearing and like an undead, because undead are like brought back, or like skeletons and zombies are like specifically like raised or whatever, whereas like a spirit might just be around or whatever. Would I like have any inkling as to whether or not this is actually an undead or not?
Roll me a religion check.
Let's see. Religion.
Herbert just had that specter walk like literally 5 feet in front of him, so he's shook.
Natural 20. Could have used that on that acrobatics roll.
You would know that this is a spirit of some kind. You don't believe it was raised unnaturally.
Okay. So Graves isn't feeling the need to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Still wants to be cautious, but
Is it this door here?
The one here was the one that had Walter's name written on it.
He's going for it.
Onyx
yes,
is just.
that's fine, Walter.
I'm staring at the door back here because I'm not a fan of what I just saw.
Hey.
Herbert wants to stick close to Nerith because he's exploring new areas. Just wants to be available in case of danger.
As you open up this door, Nerith, you see that the specter has moved to this room, and she's standing in front of a crib covered with hangings of black shroud. As you open the door, she does turn towards you, and she puts a finger to her lips. She just says, "Shh. Walter is sleeping."
Oh, there she is.
What do you do?
Nerith quietly takes a couple steps forward to try to get a better look and see if there actually is a child in the crib.
Okay.
But he does so very quietly.
Roll me a perception check on that. Okay. As you do approach, you can actually see through her somewhat. And even with your dark vision, her light actually is helping you see a bit as well. You do see that there is like a baby-sized wrapped bundle lying in the crib.
I don't like anything about this. But I'm standing farther back and just giving Nerith space.
Yeah, Graves is probably right by Herbert as well. Like, I want to be optimistic, but I am a little worried. There's not anything normal yet that we have encountered here.
Nerith
moves over to here and then goes through this door here that she seemed to be checking on Walter, and then she walked away.
All right, well, Nerith's still being very quiet as not to disturb the child. moves farther into the room in order to check on the bundle.
Okay, you see this bundle lying there, and it does look like it's a baby-sized bundle. It's lying there like you would typically see. Doesn't really have that many blankets or anything. It looks like the bundles are its blankets.
I'm going to check a racial trait real quick.
Okay. While you are doing that, Onyx, you're kind of sitting there out there. You suddenly see this specter walk through this door in front of you.
I
And
kind of raise my shield a little bit in defense, getting ready.
she walks right past you.
She didn't take any notice of me.
She did not. And then you see her walk through this door over here.
Okay. I'm going to slowly creep up to Graves and tap him on the shoulder and point down the hall where she went. The woman just went down that hall. She walked through a door.
Yes, some sort of spirit. I don't believe it's a full-on death, simply the spirit left behind.
Well, what
we
causes
should
that?
still be cautious. Many different things, I believe. What caused this one, I don't know. We should be cautious around it for sure. Might be able to help us figure out what's going on, whether it directly tells us or even if we're able to follow it and see what it does.
Why would a spirit be stuck here and not moved on?
Some sort of unfinished business, something keeping their soul from traveling through the river Styx, something binding it to this plane, a very traumatic emotional experience. I feel like at this point, this will be long enough for Knife to check out what he's doing.
Reach down and gently pull back the blanket or whatever it is that's covering the baby to see if there is a baby there.
Okay. As you unwrap the bundle, it crumples and there's nothing inside it.
No evidence of a child being there at all. Like it was hollow.
It was hollow. You don't know what was holding it in that shape. As soon as you started to unwrap it, it crumpled and it was empty.
You see Nerith look back to you, Herbert, and he kind of has this confused look and kind of raises his shoulders, like shakes his head, like, trying to point out that it's not there.
Oh, that's not good, guys. There's nothing
I'm
there.
beginning to wonder if Rose and Thorn truly were just what they appeared to be, whether they were aware of it or not. It seems like this house has been abandoned for much longer than a mere 10 minutes.
That much is obvious. There's something sinister happening here.
I do believe that could be said for the whole of this Barovia place, but especially here. Is Lancelot freaking out there?
And Lancelot he's staying very close to Onyx, and he's actually kind of like nuzzling the side of Onyx and whining.
I take a big gulp and I'll just... Ma'am?
You see, she doesn't have anything in front of her, but she is making the motions of like folding clothes on the bed. She does look towards you and she's like, "Oh, you must be the guest that Mr. Durst said. We're saying, I'll be getting the guest room ready for you shortly."
Mr. who?
Mr. Durst, the master of the house.
Where is the master? We have not seen him since arriving.
I'm not sure where Mr. Durst would be today at this time. He often spends time in his study, reading and writing. He's such a gentleman.
Oh, and what does Master Durst do? I'm afraid I don't know him that well.
Oh, you mean like his profession?
Yeah, yes.
Well, he is a landowner. He owns many of the lands here in Barovia. That's why we've been here in the valley for many years. And why I started to work for Mr. Durst.
And what was last night like?
Like any night. I mean, I put Rose and Thorn to bed, and then got Walter to bed as well. I know Mrs. Durst was in a temper, but it's not my place to speak of such things.
How long ago did you put Rose and Thorn to bed? When was the last time you saw them?
Oh, well, they're not in bed now, so it would have been last night. Has to be around midday, I think. That's usually when I get the laundry started. I so apologize. I'll get your guest rooms
Oh, it's
ready soon.
No rush. But did you happen to hear any screaming last night? You said Mrs. Durst was in a temper.
Yes, but it's not completely uncommon for her to be so. I mean, there is the screams that I've heard the children talk about coming from the basement, but I've not heard them myself. Children's imagination is wonderful, isn't it? Creates so many things in the shadows.
It certainly can be. Very yeah.
Please walk with me. I have to take care of these clothes before the missus owns.
Hey.
Did she just walk through me, like, actually?
She did, yes.
Uh,
And it feels like
Yeah.
when they walk through you, it feels like your arm is dumped in ice water. Like it feels like your body is dumped in ice water. Like you just jumped into an icy lake.
Did you walk through Graves as well? I think I was in the way. Graves would have zero actual physical reaction to like the feeling, and others might be like, "Oh, I'm freezing," kind of reaction. Like Graves doesn't react whatsoever.
yeah, okay.
Onyx is visibly shaking.
So she walks directly through this door here.
Well,
I
here we go, I guess. Wait, where's Cornell?
think we might get answers from her, but
What?
I'm freaked.
We need to stay together. Everyone keep track of each other.
I've seen death, but not like this. This is new for me, and I don't like it.
Graves, you go forward to open this door. This one is also covered in ornate designs. You open this door and you see ahead of you a master bedroom.
Oh?
You see that she has gone into here. You see a body slumped in the background, but you are not able to see much more aside from that through the darkness. The double doors to this room have dusty panes of stained glass set into them. Designs of the glass resemble windmills. The dusty, cobweb-filled master bedroom has burgundy drapes covering the windows. Furnishings include a four-poster bed with embroidered curtains and tattered gossamer veils, a matching pair of empty wardrobes, a vanity with wood-framed mirror and jewelry box, and a padded chair. A rotting bearskin rug lies on the floor in front of the fireplace, which has a dust-covered portrait of Gustav and Elizabeth Durst hanging above it. A web-filled parlor in the southwest corner contains a table and two chairs. Resting on the dusty tablecloth is an empty porcelain bowl and a matching jug. A door facing the foot of the bed has a full-length mirror mounted on it. The main draw of this room, however, is the male figure hanging next to a bottle on the ground to the left.
Hanging?
Sorry, laying on the ground.
Oh.
I was like, there's another body hanging somewhere?
No.
Okay. So just that body.
Mm-hmm.
I will cautiously step into the room.
I mean, I'm right next to Herbert, so...
You see this specter over here. She looks like she's carrying stuff from the bed over to these wardrobes and then back to the bed, and she's going in between the two like she's hanging stuff.
Oh boy.
Graves would like to inspect the body.
Of course. So,
Being very familiar with these kind of
roll
things.
me an investigation check.
Would I also be able to do a medicine as well?
You
It's a
would,
20
but
on the investigation, just to see how long it's been dead, how it died, kind of thing as
yes.
well.
But can you roll me a Constitution saving throw first?
Oh, great.
I sure can. It was a 20 on my investigation.
20 on investigation, okay.
Yep. A 4 on my save.
As you approach it, you are hit with a wave of stench that's stronger than any dead body that you've smelled. And you've smelled a lot of them having worked as a grave digger. You are nauseous and you feel like you're about to vomit. If you were in
Nauseous,
combat, you would normally be poisoned until your next turn. But because we're not in combat, it just kind of
Oh, ha.
waves over you.
I get advantage if it's poison.
It's not poison. You just have the
Okay.
poisoned. You're not being poisoned. You are just would have the same effect as poison.
I do
Sounds
have
like being
advantage
poisoned.
against disease and poison.
Roll me that medicine check now.
Yes. 20 for the investigation. And once it goes through, 10 for the medicine.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Let's actually use one of my racial abilities, knowledges from a past life. I can add a d6 to that skill roll. One of
Okay.
my
Yeah.
2 uses.
Do it.
So I will just do the regular dice in here of a d6. Come on. 1.
Okay.
Give me an 11.
Okay.
Hey, whatever.
As you are investigating him, you do see that he is clutching a note within his hand. However, one of the things that you do notice too is this does not appear to be a human. As you're looking at it, it actually appears to be a ghast of some kind. He has long fingers and that horrible stench that you'd recognize that only the undead can carry.
Does it appear to be like a destroyed undead, or it could get up and attack us?
With your medicine check, you can tell that this thing is no longer alive, for lack of a better way to say it, as it was undead. Based on your knowledge, you can tell that he has not been dead more than a few hours.
Grace will kind of look back to this. This wasn't undead. It's been but maybe a few hours since it was destroyed. But here, I found this note on the body as well. As he kind of gets up, kind of just like holds his stomach for a second. He's like, "No, I'm good. I'm good. Let's see what it says."
And I have shared that to you, and I will read it. My beloved children, I wish I could do what all fathers do, and tell you that monsters aren't real. But it wouldn't be true. Life can create things of exquisite beauty, but it can also twist them into hideous beings, selfish, violent, grotesque monsters. It hurts me to say that your mother has turned into one such monster, inside and out, and I'm afraid the disease that afflicted her mind has taken hold of me as well. It sickens me to think what we've put you through. There's no excuse. I only ask of you, though I know I do not have the right to do so, to try and forgive us. I despise what your mother has become, but I love and pity her all the same. Rose, I wish I could see you blossom into a strong, beautiful woman. Thorn, Walter, I wish I could be there for you, but I can't. This is the only way. Demov will watch over you. Listen to him, and he will lead you well. Goodbye. And with that, we are going to take a bio break. And we are going to look at returning in about 10 to 15 minutes.
All right.
Thank you
We'll
so
see
much.
ya.
We are now back.
Thank you for returning, as we had just discovered the suicide note of Mr. Durst, who appears to have been dead a few hours in his room. Nerith was actually just looking at approaching this nursemaid and attempting to communicate with her about where baby Walter is.
So Nerith isn't entirely certain whether or not he'd be able to even communicate with the spirit. He's never tried it before, so it's just kind of, hello?
She turns towards you She's like, was that you?
Yes, it's me.
Hello.
I hope speaking in your head doesn't disturb you, Conareth says to a spirit.
In my head? What do you mean?
Well, as you can see, I'm not speaking audibly. That's how most people do it.
You're just like Mr. Demov. He likes to do that for the children. Puppets and all that.
Puppets?
It is something different.
What do you mean by that?
Like he can make it look like the puppet is talking without moving his mouth, like you are doing right now.
Oh, okay. Speaking of the children, Walter, where would he be in the house right now?
Oh, he'd probably be sleeping right now. I'm looking at getting him up soon to play with Rose and Thorn, as he's probably close to done with his nap soon. I told you to be quiet earlier when you walked in.
Oh, of course. And I was very quiet. I don't believe I disturbed him.
She's going to continue folding clothes, moving between the bed and the wardrobe.
If I may ask a question as well, where would we find this Mr. Demov? He sounds like an interesting person.
Oh, the master's brother. Yes, he wanders the house. He also spends some time in the conservatory and the library as well.
Upstairs, I imagine, for the conservatory?
No, the conservatory is one story down. It's the ballroom. It has the harpsichord in it.
Of course, yes. We passed by that.
Conareth comes over. I'm starting to believe that there actually isn't a child, considering the bundle that I checked earlier just disintegrated, and yet she seems to believe that that's where the child is. So I guess the need for urgency isn't quite there.
She walks over to here and appears to be going into the room. Lancelot is hiding, and then as soon as she runs back, he runs around and is staying super close to the walls. He is terrified from the looks of it.
Graves,
Yes.
I don't have any experience in these things. Is it bad to tell a spirit, I guess, is what we're gonna call her, that she's a spirit, or do we continue this charade of insanity?
GM, would I have any inkling as to that knowledge?
Roll me a religion check.
In between this, Conareth chimes in. It is definitely a spirit and not just some apparition or illusion, because I'm able to communicate with it.
Yes. Ooh, 20.
Oh, great.
I'm doing good on the religion rolls so far.
Yeah.
20 and up for all my religion rolls.
Okay,
Nice.
and Herbert, you asked that you wanted to poke the bear. As you poke it,
Yeah.
it does not move. It does appear, like I said, to be rotted quite a bit.
Pretty sure there's a turn of phrase about that.
So
There's a bat over there. I'd rather not mess with it right now.
Graves, you know that with spirits and stuff, they do have the potential to turn very quickly if you anger them. So depending on, you don't know how she would react necessarily to being told that she's dead. But you know that if she did decide to turn, that it could be dangerous.
All right.
Spirits are quite powerful beings, even if they come from commoners.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it depends on the person. It depends on how well they take the news that they are, in fact, dead. If they don't take it well, they're quite a dangerous foe. So it may be best to not. There's a possibility that she would be fine, but it is quite a shock to be told you're dead.
Yeah.
I'm also beginning to wonder. We've seen numerous strange things. There was the animated statue. There was the wolf statues moving around. But now we've also seen this undead that seems to be similar to this Mrs. Durst as well. I'm beginning to wonder if this Demov is behind at least the statue. And perhaps these puppets could even include the undead. People have referred to necromancers, puppet masters. But at least I believe that the moving wolf statues and the armor we fought are likely his doing at least.
And that body over there, I see the bottle. Did you check that out?
I don't think I have. I will check out the bottle. Let's pick it up. Is it poison?
Roll me a medicine check.
Medicine.
As you two are talking about the animated armor and stuff like that, Herbert would sort of pipe up and say, well, often nobles will install security systems like this in their houses. Not very common. It's for the high elite, usually. So this person was obviously extremely wealthy. But like you said, it could have been something added after the fact.
12 on my medicine check.
You do know, in fact, that this is poison, and of a strong poison.
This, my friend, is in fact poison. I assume what he used to kill himself somehow, just by being undead. But it is very potent. There's not much left, but it still might not hurt us to keep it with us, just in case. Would it be enough to actually be useful at all, or
You might be able to coat a few arrows in it, but wouldn't be enough to necessarily do a full sword.
okay,
a dagger.
or could potentially attempt to study it to replicate later on, potentially. I will take that into my inventory.
Well, I have mad respect for this individual for taking themselves out, knowing that they were a monster in the end.
Yes.
Mad respect? Like crazy? Like... I guess I don't understand the term. I apologize.
Lots of respect.
Ah, okay, yes, I see.
A maddening level of respect.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yes, I'll write that down.
So much respect it could drive one mad.
But
Graves, are you talking to Herbert right now mostly?
Probably. I think I've been largely talking to Onyx lately as well, but Herbert is also right there speaking as well.
Who's right next to you?
I think
Yeah,
it's Herbert.
As you are looking towards Herbert, you do catch a glimpse in the mirror, and you see that same face. You see that what looks here to be a table for getting ready. It has a jewelry table and makeup and things like that, and a jewelry box there as well. But the mirror is what catches your attention mostly, as you see that same face that has been kind of haunting you every time you pass by one.
I immediately reposition myself so that I am not looking at the mirror. I say nothing. Herbert might just see me kind of look at something, and then I just kind of walk around him. So I'm now still facing him, but I've basically switched our positions.
And it would be very noticeable to you, Herbert, that suddenly Graves looked over your shoulder and then moved around you, that he saw something.
I guess I'll look behind me.
You look behind you and you just see a mirror with a jewelry table in front of you.
Oh, okay. Well, I think he just sort of brushes it off because he's not too adept at picking up social cues sometimes. So he'll look at the stuff on the desk here.
Yeah, for sure. Looking at the jewelry table there.
Yeah.
Okay, like I said before, you do see that there is a jewelry box, but you can see that it's actually kind of made of silver, and it actually is inlaid with gold filigree. And you can tell that this is exquisite make as you're looking at it.
Oh, well, this could be very valuable material. Well, I don't suppose the master of the house will probably be using this anymore, as unsettling as that thought seems.
I would still be wary while the nursemaid spirit is around.
Oh, yes, good point.
From her perspective, we'd just be stealing. But I mean, if you're careful, I will not stop you. I would just say be careful at the least. Graves is still he's got moved over towards the doorway, so he's looking at you from the door, so the mirror is still out of his view.
And Herbert's always looking for material, but like you said, he does not want to anger the spirits, so it's not really worth it to him. He'll leave the stuff.
Okay, so you leave the box there?
Yep.
Okay.
Is there anything in the bed? Potentially another body?
You don't see a body underneath. If you want to look more closely, you can, but you don't see what body or anything. It looks like the bed was made currently.
I was just trying to find Lady Durst.
I think she's probably still around.
Or probably in the basement.
You do not see any sign of Lady Durst around.
Have we seen the stairs that lead up to the 4th floor yet?
You have not. nor have you seen the stairs that lead to the basement.
I'm going to also come over and pet our new dog and try to reassure him.
He is quivering.
It's okay, boy.
So you can roll me an animal handling check if you want to try and calm him.
Sure.
But he's
I
pretty
got a
freaked out.
21.
Hey!
He kind of moves towards you and he's starting to feel more comfortable around you guys. Definitely is glad to have other people in the house with him now.
Oh, such a good boy. Come on, let's try to get further along.
There
come
is
to
a little
join.
closet in here we haven't looked at. Further on the other side, we haven't looked. And then there's also the room.
There's the dumb waiter.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
Just putting this out here. I feel awful. Just about the worst I could feel while still being conscious. So
Well-
just if we wanted to maybe
Yes.
rest for a minute or like an hour, maybe, since we're not so urgent any longer, maybe. It's up to you. I can continue. I'm pretty tough.
Right, yeah, because you're at 1 hit point.
While he's discussing
I
that,
got no
Canaris
spells.
gonna go grab one of the extra sheets in one of the closets there, and just comes over and just kind of drapes it over the body of Durst, just to cover him up. One last thing, he
Daenerys,
just does like a mark
you
or
gain
whatever.
4 luck points.
Oh, sweet.
I like that.
I know that we want to rest, but with everything that's going on, I'm not sure we should rest in this location. I mean, we've seen stuffed things move. We have a spirit walking around on this floor that might be upset if we don't go to, like, the guest chambers or whatnot.
I was going to say,
And
there is the guest chambers they are making for us. That might be the best place to rest if we are to do so.
But I also want to at least get answers.
I would love to help you find them. I'm fine, just continuing. I'm pretty dexterous. Well, not so much dexterous, I suppose, as fortified. But I can take care of myself.
I won't separate from the group, quite distraught, to come to the understanding that it seems as though everyone is already dead here anyway, and by what means we're not sure yet. I don't imagine we're going to have any answers that are going to bring us any peace, but if you feel the need to continue on, I will have your back.
I would like
So I
to
will
at
do
least find the body of the child we are looking for.
I thought I had a moment, but disappeared on me.
Maybe we should continue searching this floor, perhaps the next. But depending upon what we find, and once we are shown to the guest quarters, perhaps rest before we enter the basement proper. As
Agreed.
we do believe there is some sort of creature down there.
Yes.
We should ideally not be so tired from, well, first of all, the events in this house, and there's exactly, second of all, the travel. I believe the last time that we would have rested was in the Vistani's camp.
Well, on
Yes,
the way,
and it would have been about 10 hours ago.
I was gonna say on the way
Um,
here though, we kind of rested in the.
Yeah, you had
Yes.
kind of a short rest. It was, but you were still awake.
I agree. We search at least this floor. If we can find the stairs leading upstairs, maybe we can barricade it. So if there is something, we can make sure it doesn't come down here, and then we
Yes,
can
that
rest
would
on
be
this
smart.
floor.
Yes, I would say either we explore the next floor or we block it off while we rest. And definitely not all sleep at the same time.
Correct. And hopefully the guest chambers are on this floor. Because if the spirit can lead us to the guest chambers and they're on this floor, it will make sense to the spirit so she won't get upset with us being in areas we're not supposed to be.
Yes.
I will say I'm not sure if it will mean anything, but the swaddled bundle that was in the crib did disintegrate upon my interaction with it, and we don't know how potentially volatile the spirit is. Seems to have gone that way, so just be wary.
Cautious, yes.
All right.
And at that, Canaris is going to start. moving forward.
There's this door right here.
Yes, I just sort of suspect this is where the stairs would be.
The door slams shut behind you
Oh,
as you walk out.
Oh,
Oh,
Lovely.
creepy.
okay.
It's okay. We're going in
Graves,
there
you're
anyway.
opening this door.
yes, I would like to look inside.
You see ahead of you what looks to be a bathroom.
Finally, I've had to use one of those.
Yes, if anyone would like to wash up, here is the place. Are there mirrors in this room?
There is a wash mirror above where like the sink area, like the basin.
Well, if any of you wish to relieve yourselves or
Yeah,
splash some water on your
pretty
face,
much-
in there is the place to do it.
it has a dark room with a wooden tub with clawed feet with what looks like a thing that collects water from the roof to be used. There's a small iron stove with a kettle resting atop it and a barrel under a spigot on the east wall.
All right, so that is the water closet.
Who's walking ahead here? Is that Conair?
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, Graves is
Nerith.
attempting to as well.
As you are walking ahead, you suddenly hear voices. You hear what sounds like a whispered argument coming from ahead of you in the nurse's suite. In your right ear, you suddenly hear a woman's voice pleading, "It isn't his, I swear." And in your left ear, followed immediately afterwards, you hear a cold voice of a woman who says, "I don't care." And that's the end of the conversation that you hear.
Kenneth just slowly turns around to the rest, visibly distraught. Graves is the only one within range that can hear it. I'm hearing voices.
Like Onyx did on the first floor. He heard voices. Where were they coming from? Could you tell?
Every direction. I'm not sure what's going on here, but keep your wits about you. And casts a vigilant blessing on Graves. And you just like suddenly, as usual, kind of feel a bit more aware, as though you just drank an entire cup of coffee.
Now, we have a couple doors we could look through.
I don't really want to, but
I
if we're to
believe there
press
was
forward.
an entrance to a balcony outside as well, is I think what I saw. Or further in from what we believe to be the nurse's chambers. But I don't know how happy she'd be of us poking around there, but we could also simply wait there for her, knowing that's something that she will show up again.
What you see ahead of you is just dusty shelves lining the wall. A few of the shelves you see that there's folded sheets and blankets, old bars of soap, and a cobweb-covered broom leaning against the far wall.
This woman appears to have been a spirit long enough for the cleaning supplies to have grown dusty and cobwebbed. So likely longer than Lord Dust has been in there on the floor.
Dora's timeline that we're building here.
10 minutes, a couple hours, probably at least a few days, if not weeks.
Weeks. Easily. It takes a
Yes.
long time for this much dust to build up.
Precisely. But then the baby perhaps turned to dust, which is like years. The body, the gas, a few hours. The children said 10 minutes. I've just stopped trying to make sense of how long things have been.
But
I'm just going to accept that they happened.
the children didn't look like that spirit, though.
No, they did look like children. Maybe the nurse has always been a spirit. Who knows?
Could we go find them, perhaps?
The children? I
question
believe they're
them
back
again?
outside.
Yes. I mean, it would take some time, obviously, so...
I haven't seen any other stairs on this floor.
I want to take a quick look over here.
The spectral lady was walking through as you are coming through, and you see that she looks like she's carrying like a bundle in her arms, like someone would carry a baby. She's like, "He woke up from his nap. I'm taking him upstairs to play with Rose and Thorn." And she just walks straight through this wall.
Which one?
The stairs are over there.
I didn't see
We could
any.
follow her and then even just play while we were wondering where the guest rooms are, so we could set ourselves up if she questions why we're there. I'll also take a very quick look at. There appears to be like a desk over here.
Yes, there was 2 night tables within the nursemaid suite. Mostly you see there that it has basic clothing and stuff that looks like it's the nursemaid's, like what she uses for her clothing. Nothing of value. Doesn't even look like there's much writing. You do see that there is a small book that appears to be a novel.
Okay, I was more wondering if she had like any journals or anything.
No, the novel looks like it's been well read, but other than that, you don't see anything else.
All right, I think this is stairs right in front of me.
Nope.
No, I don't know. It's
Sorry, I hadn't revealed that. And ahead of you're standing on top of a rocking chair there.
okay.
Canaris
I
gonna have
will be beside it.
a gander at the wall that she walked through.
Yeah, for sure. Roll me
Yeah.
a investigation check.
Hey, I've got a bonus to that one.
Hey. You see that there is a mirror there, and as you are pushing, you click it open, and you feel the wall actually open up. Okay, so you are reading a little bit of the novel, you said?
Yep, just like looking for a synopsis real quick.
You see the synopsis of it. You see that it is actually like a romance novel detailing the story of a nobleman having an affair with a mistress.
How erotic is it? Is the question.
You have not seen such writing before. It is pretty explicit.
Risque.
Ooh.
Canaris, upon opening the door, looks back to Graves and is like, for the first time in this entire endeavor, is like, kind of visibly pleased and excited. Look, there was a door behind this mirror here, and points right to the mirror.
Oh.
Graves kind of just like looks aside. Excellent. I would not have noticed that.
I don't like the way you said that. It sounded like you're. Do you have trouble with mirrors? Is that?
I don't know what you mean.
You just had to push this in, and it opened the door.
It would just have not occurred to me. I'm sorry.
Very
I
clever.
would have been looking around the fireplace instead. Regardless, let's head on through. Graves does not look at the mirror as he walks past it.
Okay, so you guys see a door ahead of you.
I was at the back of the pack, so.
I'm sticking to the middle at this point because I'm squishy now.
Who opens the door?
Okay.
I believe I was leading the way.
Yeah.
You open the door, and you see ahead of you a choked, bare hallway full of dust and cobwebs. It does not appear that anyone's been up here in years.
The manor's not doing quite as well up here.
Did she not just say she expected Rose and Thorn to be up here playing? But obviously this is long abandoned.
Yeah, clearly something strange is going on here, so I guess this is about par for the course. Are there any interesting items around? Any objects?
It looks like this has almost turned into a storage room where there's like forgotten tapestries. There's junk all across the ground. The walls are almost falling apart. You can see stones gathered around the edges of the room.
Well, we have 4 doors to choose from. Over here, 2 up here where I'm at, and then 1 back here, as I turn and point to them.
Well, let's pick a door and go for it. I don't think we really have a way to know what's behind any of them, so.
I like this one. It has a light next to it.
Yes.
That seems the most probable.
Inviting?
Nothing in this house has been inviting. Are you kidding?
It's less uninviting than the other doors.
As you open this door, you see light coming in from outside, as it appears that the roof has slightly caved in at this point, to the point where plants have started growing across the ground and mushrooms, leading you to even more accept the fact that this has been abandoned for a very long time. Despite that, there is a flame lit in the lantern sitting on the counter, and looks like a fire in the furnace that has been burning as if someone just threw in a log.
Oh, that's not creepy at all.
There is a bed up here. Or is that just from the map?
There is a bed up here.
Does it look slept in?
It does not. It actually has a thin layer of dust on it.
Well, at least at some point somebody would have stayed up here. I think I will take a quick look over at this fire.
Oh, okay. Onyx opened that door. I was like, wait, what door did he open? You
You're not
open
gonna
that
look
and you see
away
that
from
it's a wardrobe. You see that majority of the clothing in here appears to be men's clothing. It is for men's boots. Doesn't appear to be workman's clothes, more so casual suits and what people would wear on a casual basis if they were part of more nobility.
And it's full size, not children.
Correct.
This is the
Guys?
Uncle Demon Puppet Dude spot, I imagine.
Yes, I would relay that as... Guys, I found full size men's clothing in this wardrobe, which begs me to believe that this is not for Rose or Thorn. This might be Demov's room.
Perhaps he might be a spirit too at this point, considering this bed does not appear to have been slept in quite some time. Yet someone has put a log on the fire. I would also like to look around the fireplace, see if there's anything of note.
You do not see anything of note. It appears that they kept things clean around there to avoid fires. Herbert, as you are going through there, you don't see too much. You do see a letter, however, written there that looks like it had been opened and it had been folded at one point, but it's been read so many times that it actually lays flat at this point. I have sent that letter, and I will read it out loud. My dear Demov, I must confess, my nights as of late have been sleepless. The child's wails these past several evenings have kept me awake, haunting these halls like a ghost. Margaret does her best, but other clouds yet trouble my dreams. My beloved Elizabeth, I am sure, feels it too, for she tosses and turns in her bed and awakes with her forehead slick with sweat. For the past several congregations, I've become suspicious of the ambitions of the others. The dark murmurs worry me, and though I know that a shadow ought not to fear a blackened night, I cannot but fear for the extent of their plotting. If anything happens, you are to be the steward of our parents' house and caretaker of my children. Keep Rose and Thorn safe, and dear Walter close to your breast. Should the worst come to pass, you shall be all they have left. Your loving brother, Gustav. With that, you do find a small key, also held with the note.
Well, I'll read it out loud to everybody so that they know what's on the note. And if there's any way to share this note on stream, it looks amazing, by the way.
I do have it in the handouts of the Discord, so they are able to access it.
Hop on over the Discord.
Join our Discord, you can see all the handouts.
So I am sharing all the handouts into the handouts folder so people can see it. The reason I'm reading out loud is so people who are only listening know what's going on as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't share it right now. I'm not set up for that.
It's all good.
Or I don't know it ahead of time. I can't pre-plan them.
Yeah. It's okay. I wasn't sure if maybe you could just like bring it in front of the thing or whatever. But
no,
yeah.
because it's capturing just the game, not the actual screen.
Okay,
Gotcha.
Cool. So you found this letter from Gustav Durst to Demov Durst as you anticipate his brother, as well as the small key.
So
Yeah.
Gustav seems to be the master of the house. We've
Yes,
only
he's
heard
the
him
one.
addressed.
I suspect he's the one that is dead. Dimov is the uncle and puppet master one, who, from what we've seen, doesn't seem that suspicious to me. It does seem to be the lady Elizabeth Durst. She seems to be the suspicious one. Also, I would like to look outside and see if I can spot the kids, because I believe this is the side of the house looking to the front.
Yeah, so when you go to look outside, you can't see anything. You just see the wall of mist.
Oh, well, friends, I was going to see if I could spot Rose and Thorn out by the stables, but as you can see, it is only our dear friend, this wall of mist, that I am beginning to like less and less the longer we are here.
Well, it doesn't seem to be coming into the house, so at least that is one plus.
It seems to want to keep us here. I mean, we have yet to try going into the mist, but I don't think I really want to try that.
Agreed.
You speak of it as if it seems to have some sort of intention, not some sort of
I don't
automatic.
know if the mist has the intention, but I feel like there is some sort of being with an intention controlling the mist, whether actively or passively. Perhaps this vampire that we heard about in the letter that's been here for 600 years. That would be my guess. Perhaps whatever is related to this Lady Durst, perhaps just this land itself is cursed. Perhaps we are all absolutely crazy bonkers.
It happens.
I don't trust it. Oh, but you said there was a key with this letter, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything locked in here, or does it appear to be to, like, the house or a secret room somewhere? We should keep it on ourselves, for sure.
Oh,
Either to
certainly.
this closet or something very important somewhere else.
Yes. Keep an eye out for locked doors, and if we find one, we will try this key. I suspect it was something important that the Lord himself would have had, rather than something in Dimov's possession. So likely the basement or something like that.
So, Nerith,
Nerith
hey,
leading.
Nerith, can you roll me a perception check?
Oh, big perception check. Here we go.
Okay. As you are walking out, you're kind of looking at the other rooms, and now that you're kind of keeping an eye out for it, knowing that there's a lock, you do see that this door is visibly locked, and locked from the outside. There's multiple locks that go across, kind of holding it shut.
Friends, there does seem to be a locked door over there to our right. I don't know
Is it?
if we want to search that first or last. It does look like it's locked quite sturdily, so perhaps maybe there's something in there that they were trying to keep in there.
Well, let's check out the other doors.
Also, bears repeating that we have discovered one secret wall so far. Might behoove us to keep an eye out for more.
Yes. Shall we just, while we're here, take a few moments and scan the walls as a whole throughout this floor, just in case?
Might not be a terrible idea.
Each
I'll
pick
go
a wall,
around and-
check out that wall. Take 5 minutes.
Boom! Oh. I went through the wall.
Yeah. You guys can all roll me investigation checks.
Alright. I literally ran up the wall and pushed on it.
You're supposed to be good at this.
Investigation. Oh, I'm not.
I am trained in it.
I at least rolled well.
Okay. Was that everyone's roll?
Did mine go through? Did you see mine?
I did
I haven't
not see
seen
yours.
I clicked, but I didn't see anything. So I'm going to do it again.
Okay. So I'll start with the lowest first. So Graves
Club.
and Herbert. What walls were you guys looking at?
I guess this one for Graves.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd
And-
just be looking at this one.
You do not see anything. Neither of you do. And then I'm assuming that you're looking at this wall here, Onyx.
Yeah, I would probably take from the corner here and wrap around to over here. It's kind of this
Alright,
whole alcove.
You don't really see any openings in the wall here other than the doors. And then
Figured.
Nerith, Same for you.
Yeah, same thing. Just kind of checking there, and I got 19.
Okay, you do not see any openings either.
I got 19. I
Right.
should see all of the openings.
You see a door here.
Well, we checked. We found nothing. Let's check an
Alright, you
actual
find
door.
all 0 traps.
Fine, I'll add traps so you can see them. Okay, which door are you guys going to next? This one or this one?
Let's go left.
Unless someone else tells them otherwise, Graves might just push this one open.
Okay. Oh, that one. Okay.
Everything
You
went
just
dark.
go.
Yep. Turned around.
All right,
Okay.
Oh,
check it out.
You just opened that door.
Oh,
Alright,
it's
so-
another bedroom.
What you see here is you see that there is a small dose-chucked room containing a slender bed, nightstand, small iron stove, writing desk with a stool, and an empty wardrobe, and a rocking chair. One of the things you also do see, sitting on this table,
oh,
is a small doll.
oh,
Oh,
doll.
a puppet-like
this
doll,
house.
perhaps?
No, it appears that it's like a child's doll. You actually saw when you were outside, Thorn was actually holding a similar one. As you look at it, you can see that it is draped almost like it's in a lacy yellow dress and it has red hair, but doesn't really have any facial expressions other than like 2 buttons that are used to make its eyes.
Oh, this perhaps is a child's room. This looks like Thorn's doll. Graves will actually sit down in the rocking chair for a moment, like, hold on a moment. My feet are tired. Let's wait in this room for just a moment.
Are
Here, bud.
you okay, Graves?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just tired. We've been walking a long time. Are your feet not sore?
I'm built slightly different than you.
As Graves is sitting down, he'll probably just like kind of pick up the doll, look at it, and be like, and perhaps kind of like haphazardly, kind of nonchalantly place it in his backpack.
Herbert's investigating the desk and looking for anything with writing on it.
You don't really see much in this one. This looks like it's almost set up more like it doesn't have a permanent resident, like it's kept open so if someone wants to stay there, like a guest room.
Graves, did you have, or do you have children?
I don't think so. I mean, as I've already shared, I really don't know much about myself. It just seems potentially important. Who knows?
Just wasn't sure if
Perhaps
there was some sort of connection.
Not to my knowledge, but perhaps we could, once we head back outside, if we manage to, and if we find the children there, we could give it to them even if we see them again.
Usually it's parents that think of that, and not soldiers or clergy, I guess.
Well, maybe I am. As I said, I remember waking up in a graveyard 2 months ago.
Oh, I
And
remember.
that's it.
I am just curious if maybe it struck a memory or something came
Yeah.
flashing back to you, or
I don't know, just seemed right. Perhaps I'm even a grandparent. I don't think I look that old. Do I? I really don't think I look that old. Who knows?
well,
Maybe I just look really good for my age. I just
Who
think I don't,
knows?
but I don't think I look that old either.
I mean,
I don't feel that old.
Do we know how long you were dead? You know, you could have been like preserved or
Well,
something.
from what Torin told me, I was a gravedigger in Bowshot for a few years, but seemed
Oh,
like he said he thought I was a simpleton for those few years, and then I seemed to be dead, but then awoke just before my burial, thankfully. So probably like a day.
I guess I misunderstood. I thought you became a gravedigger after you woke up.
No, I seemed to be different after I woke up. I was the man you see now, I suppose. But before, I was there for a while as just the gravedigger, and apparently I was quiet and kept to myself. So, while I know that I spent a few years in Bowshot, I think it was like 2 or so years, I don't really know anything beyond that. What I did besides dig graves there, and where I came from before that. I apologize. I didn't mean to mislead any of you. I just
No,
that was
of course.
not how the explanation went, I guess.
It was my misunderstanding. I apologize.
No, it's no worries. That is how I know to be called Graves as well. I didn't just pick the name. That I know of.
I mean, we haven't been traveling together for very long, so it's not like we should know your life story either.
It's fair. I say, at this point, you know as much as I do. I don't think there's really much else that I know that I can tell.
What I do know of you, I like.
Why, thank you, my friend. I can say the same of you.
You are an enigma, and I like it. And I just turn and walk to follow Nerith over here.
You see that this is a closet that is mostly left empty. There is like a few like pairs of like spare sheets and what looks like wash towels and things like that, but no clothing of any kind. But there is space to put clothing. This is also covered in about a quarter inch of dust, if not more.
Oh, nothing to see here.
After Graves is done resting his feet, he'll stand up and go look out this window to see if it also has mist on this side of the house or if it was just the front.
It does.
All right.
There's
The mist
mist
seems
on
to
this.
have fully surrounded the house. So it wasn't pushing us to the house and past. It seems to want us here.
But just make sure the landing is as we had left it before. Nothing's changed.
Nothing has changed.
Okay.
Well, this other door then?
Yeah, I haven't opened many. I'll attempt it. I look in to see what... see.
You see ahead of you what appears to be a storage room. It's a dusty chamber packed with old furniture. You see chairs, coat racks, standing mirrors, dress mannequins, and the like, all draped in dusty white sheets. There are a few that appear that they were more hastily put in place, but most of them look like they've been sitting here for a very long time.
This is the mimic room.
And what is with the skulls?
Skulls? What?
You do see skulls up there. They do seem very out of place, but you do not know why they are there. Roll me a medicine check.
Yeah. Let's see if we know how old they are. I can help you if that helps. I'm very used to corpses.
I have a decent medicine.
Medicine is also my best skill.
Yeah, feel free to add your medicine score to Onyx's.
I got a +5 modifier.
I also have a +5, but I rolled a 3, so now we have a 13.
13.
It's not too bad.
Hey, +10, it's always good.
Yeah.
So you guys both look at this, and you can tell by the thickness of the bone and how yellowed it is. You can't, you can tell that these bones are from multiple. I was about to say multiple bodies, but obviously because they're skulls, multiple different time frames. They
right.
weren't all killed at the same time. It does appear that some of the oldest ones look as old as a few weeks, while some of the newer ones look like they are as new as a few days.
Can we tell are they all adult?
Yes, they
Are they
do
all
appear
human?
to all be adult. They do not appear to all be human.
Are they all humanoid? Or
Mostly
like-
humanoid, yes. Yeah, they do appear to
So-
be all humanoid.
so there might be like humans and like elves and dwarves and like
Yes.
mixed in. Okay, but not anything like here's a demon skull.
No, you do see one skull that appears smaller, but upon further inspection, you can tell it's a halfling,
Mhm.
not a child.
Okay. It's like
Collection of
graves
skulls, that's perfectly normal.
Yeah. I mean, it can be.
Not
It can
a
be.
couple
As
days
everything else
old,
we've seen.
though.
I mean, and if you're working at like a lobotomy center, that's not the right word at all. A morgue, I guess, or
Mortician?
somewhere that studies bodies. Yes. However, for a storage room like this, that is not normal.
Roughly how many skulls?
What you see there, so probably about 10 to 15.
And
mean-
how many mannequins?
You see a few mannequins. They look like the ones that you would see for when they're fitting a dress.
I would like to take a closer look at these mannequins, especially the ones that appear to have been more hastily covered.
The mannequins don't really appear to be hastily covered. It actually looks like it's like a small table over in this side. The mannequins, they do appear to be normal. How are you looking at them? Are you like just going out and striking them, or are you poking
I'm kind of
them?
like going up, cautiously touching it, and then lifting the like sheet to kind of have a look underneath.
It kind of wobbles from your movement, and dust shakes off of it as you lift it. You see that there is like a wire mesh underneath that kind of holds up the body of the mannequin, but it does not move aside from that.
Okay, before I touch the table, actually, Graves is a little paranoid in this room. So he'll take a moment and kind of just concentrate for a second. And once again, you'll see in his eyes the symbol of Pharasma flashes in his eyes as I use my eyes of the grave to detect any undead within 60 feet. It doesn't go through walls or anything, I realize.
Yes.
But so just this room, basically.
You do not
If there are
sense
any in
any
this room.
undead.
All right. No undead in here, at least. That doesn't guarantee any enemies. But no undead. Those skulls were not going to fly and attack us. Now, let's look at this table.
As I'm watching him lift that, I'm just... My concern is that there's an average of a skull every other day. And then we'll see what's underneath the sheet that he
You
pulled up.
pull the sheet up, and you see that it's not in the table. It's actually a small trunk.
I'll see if I can open it, I guess. Hope it's not a mimic.
You open up this chest.
Excellent. What is inside?
The corpse of the nursemaid curled up in the trunk.
Ah, well, here is our lovely hostess. I'm going to see how long it looks like she's been dead, if I can tell how she was killed, and if she has like any expressions or anything on her face to indicate if she like died peacefully or like had any like expressions of like horror or anything on her face.
Oh, yeah. You can go ahead and roll investigation and medicine. I'm assuming most of you would check it. So I'll allow you to roll, and then you can add 6 to each roll to indicate like the proficiencies of everyone else.
And is she placed in there like she fits, or is she like
She's kind of
stuffed in there?
curled. She's kind of stuffed in there more so.
Okay, my medicine check. So if I get 6 to that, that's 12 because I rolled an natural 1. I will use my knowledge from a past life, my second use, to roll a d6, add to it as well.
I mean, can I offer some guidance?
That'd be great. 15, and then guidance. That's a d4, correct?
Yes.
I'll take guidance to bump that up to a D6.
Oh, you're gonna guidance as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because
Okay,
you
so you
guys
can
can
roll a
stack
D6.
them.
Ooh.
Oh, then
Okay,
fuck,
so
I'll
ignore
do
that
it.
d4 roll. Okay, ignore
Yeah.
that d6 roll.
Wait. Did Onyx say he was doing it too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot
Okay,
that's
just
how we were
like-
doing it.
You got this, man.
So it's
No.
going to be D8.
I bumped out to the d8 and got a 1. We're still at 19.
Wait, that was the medicine check?
That was the medicine. 19 on the medicine. That was
Okay.
with a natural 1.
All right.
Okay.
What?
I forgot
All
we
these
were
bonus-
doing it like that because I always rule it that you can't stack it. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it was
it kind of removes a lot of the ability of your guys' individual characters, not allow you to stack it, but straight stacking
oh yeah,
die on top of each other
Yeah.
is OP, but I like
The
increasing
buffing of the die, I
Yeah.
like that.
I like it.
Especially just because we're a bunch of clerics who just like laying hands on whoever's doing the skill check.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all
do this.
praying. A group prayer.
So we'll decide the medicine stuff first, then we can roll investigation after is what I will suggest.
Actually, roll investigation as well, because they're all going to be kind of tied together.
Okay. In that case, let's roll that. You got it coming in 16 on that, unless anyone does anything to buff that.
I would be focused on enhancing the investigation because that's kind of my whole thing is investigating. So, yeah, I would offer some guidance for that.
All right, D4 for that. 3. All right, that brings us up to a 19 as well.
So 19 on both. Cool.
Yes.
Nice, even numbers.
Yes. Not quite
So-
20s, but close.
Hold on.
You have this trunk open and you're searching through there. You do see that it appears that she's wearing the same dress that the spirit was wearing below, the nursemaid's dress. On the front of her dress, there are multiple stab wounds that appear to go through the front of it. As far as her facial expression, It's one of fear that you can see on there. Now, because of the help of your compatriots, you are also able to make one other assessment as you are kind of feeling around the stab wounds and in her torso. You can tell that this woman had been pregnant within the last month or two.
That makes sense. I don't think Coda have told us the conversation, but that makes sense with that. And are we able to tell how long she's been dead?
You believe she's dead the same amount of time that Mr. Durst had been, a few hours. She does not smell. Her body is still somewhat soft. She hasn't had the full rigor mortis set in yet.
Okay, so only a few hours.
So I assume because we all work together, we can all tell this instead of having to relay it.
Correct.
The one other thing I would like to know is, can we tell what she was stabbed with? Like, was it claws, a knife? Like, can we tell what kind of stab wound she has? Like, was it a knife? Was it like
It was a knife.
Okay.
Multiple knives.
Well, she was murdered. Hopefully she was not standing in the door as I said that.
She is not. You actually haven't seen her since she came up here.
Perhaps she's bound to the floor below somehow. Barred from here because her corpse is here, perhaps.
Perhaps. She could have also went into that locked room. But she could also perhaps be bound to the third floor, because we only seen her there.
She did wander about quite actively, so I'm sure we would have seen her wandering about here.
Yes, I suspect as well. I suggest we finish a thorough search of the rest of this room.
Are there like actual like spare sets of armor over here behind this?
There are not. It appears that it's mostly furniture
Gotcha.
and the like. There's not really much here aside from that. As you guys are moving sheets and the stuff, though, it is filling the room with dust quite a bit.
Well, might as well look under this last section here, this last covered area. Waves the dust away from his face.
I'm using prestidigitation to just clean the dust off of myself as it lands.
Onyx is very rigid after seeing the body. And mutters loud enough, but still kind of just staring at the trunk. Only a coward murders somebody that is not also armed.
What happened here was a tragedy.
So, do we know how old Walter was supposed to be? Was perhaps Walter her child, not Lady Durst?
I suspect that the child Walter was hers. Yes.
Well, it could still have been Lord Durst's son, and that may explain some of the issues that was going on with Lady Durst.
Perhaps that was her room that we first entered, and the offshoot room was the room of her son, Walter.
What did that voice say to you? Well, actually, I don't know about the voice because I was out of range.
I did relay it to you guys, that he heard voices.
Oh, that's right, you did. And we were hearing your side of the conversation anyways, right?
Yeah, you would hear Graves' side of the conversation.
Yeah.
It seemed as though it was an argument between two women. I believe one of the voices sounded familiar to me. And one woman was defending someone, saying that it wasn't his fault. The other one sounded quite agitated, saying that she didn't care.
Likely this nurse may then, perhaps Margaret, because we've heard that name, and the Lady Durst about Walter's father.
Well, we'll find no more answers here.
Well, there is still this one other piece of furniture right here. I would suggest just doing a quick, thorough check, just in case.
As you flip it up, you see that there are multiple chairs underneath that are unremarkable in any way.
All right. Let's move on then. To the locked room, I suppose.
Even an angry wife of an adulterer should not fight somebody that is unarmed. No honor.
I believe before we leave this
You both
place,
attempt to open it and it is locked.
Well, I'm using my
Do you
key.
have that key?
Okay.
I believe before we leave this place, whatever it is that we discover, we should perform rites on all of the bodies here.
Yes.
Try to ease
That-
whatever still
that
suffering
is-
there is.
That is a specialty of myself and my faith. There'd certainly be no
Right.
problem to perform.
I unfortunately got a quick training and did not learn the rights for those that have passed on.
You are able to use the key, and it clicks and unlocks this door. Herbert.
Okay, I'll let someone who feels a little bit healthier
Oop,
step
cutscene.
through.
Oh, we're back at the previous room.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll move to the next scene soon.
You guys see the room contains a bricked up window flanked by two dusty wood framed beds sized for children. Closer to the door is a toy chest with windmills painted on its side and a dollhouse that's a perfect replica of the dreary edifice in which you stand. These furnishings are draped in cobwebs. Lying in the middle of the floor are two small skeletons wearing tattered but familiar clothing. The smaller of the two cradles a stuffed doll that you also recognize. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Are we gonna
I-
see it?
So,
Yeah, we're still looking at the
Yeah.
previous room.
We're
still in
looking
the
at
bedroom.
master bedroom.
See it.
Oh, sorry. There we go. This was the shot that was supposed to be
Okay.
coming.
Ah,
Oh, yeah, that has a lot more impact.
Yeah.
yes, a lot more impact.
When you enter cinematic mode, it doesn't always bring up the new image. It brings up the old one sometimes.
hmm.
So two child
Awesome.
skeletons.
Yep.
Skeletons, like they have not been. I mean that takes a while to get to a skeleton, so that's not a week old.
Yes, dust takes a long
Yeah.
time to
An
accumulate.
implication about the skulls that were only seemed like a couple days old. It's like, well, if it's a skull and it's only a couple days old, that means that someone cleaned it, unless it was a head, right?
Yeah.
It's just weird. Someone boiling
Those
it.
know- so- Recently, like a few hours ago, Walter's only like a month or so old, but Rose and Thorn are like long dead.
True.
Anyway,
That's the
This is a
stream.
mess.
thank you all for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be having a short time afterwards that we are going to be just kind of doing like after talk. We often, after we finish role playing, we talk about the session, what's planning on for next session, ideas, and anything of that nature.
So come join us in the Discord to hear it.
There you
Other
go.
than that, thank you so much, and remember, for the love of crits, please like and subscribe.
Alright, night guys.
Hey.